And welcome to this week's edition of Your Money Story. I'm your host, Renita Young, and listen, it's a really nice day to be alive. I hope you're thankful that you've made it to Wednesday because you really didn't have to. But hey, listen, today is a really cool day because we're going to talk all about entrepreneurship. I have Ellie Diop coming on, Ellie Talks Money, and she's going to share with us how she flipped her $1,200 stimulus check into a $3 million business. So hang on for a moment. Let me grab Ellie. On in just a moment. I just invited her to join us. Oh, excellent. You're here. Hi, Ellie. Good morning.
Hello. Let me set this up here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
Hi. I'm doing so well. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning to you too. We almost lost my camera there, but I got it back. So I hope you're doing well. Are you calling in from California today?
I am. I am at
Okay.
home in Los Angeles, California. Where are you?
We're in New York City. I'm right at the Bloomberg Worldwide headquarters.
Oh,
So that's where we're taping today.
that
And
is so
listen,
cool.
I'm excited to hear more about your story. I've done a lot of research on you, and you're known virally, right?
Oh my
From
gosh.
flipping your $1,200 stimulus check into a $3 million business, but it was a road to get here, and we're going to talk about that. First, tell me, what was your relationship like with money growing up?
Wow. So, growing up with money, my mom was a single mom. I went to a private all-girls school. So at a very young age, I understood the difference between what it looked like to have money and what it looked like to not have as much money. And that
Okay.
was me, with my mom. So I definitely got a clear understanding of what that meant from a young age, which really motivated me in a small way to say, you know what? I want to make sure when I get older that I'm able to do the things my friends' parents are doing, that I'm able to go on trips and vacations, and even though it's ever so slight and small, it's something that implanted in me at a very young age.
Very good to know. And so, just before the pandemic, it's important, folks, that you understand the context, okay? Because Ellie was laid off from her role as director of sales for a startup company in the insurance field, right?
Yeah,
You had just given birth to twins,
yeah,
and you had just gotten a divorce, and this is all within a
yeah.
6 month period. Let me just apologize for all the loss you experienced in a short amount of time.
Thank you.
But um, you did not want to be in a position where you would have to receive unemployment checks or government assistance for the rest of your life or for an even extended amount of time, right? So tell me, how did you begin to like dig out of everything first before that stimulus check happened?
Absolutely. I always tell friends and clients that it starts with a mindset first. I was definitely in a dark place. It was not easy. But when I looked at my surroundings, I looked at the fact that I was living at my mom's house. I looked at the fact that I had newborn twins. I looked at the fact that I was unemployed. I really had to make a decision that this was not what I wanted my life to look like anymore. I did not want to be in this position. I didn't want to find myself still here a year from that point. And so it was at that moment that I really started to write down my why. Why do I want to change my life? What do I want life to look like for my kids? Why, do I want to do this for them? And once I had that clear reason, then I was able to start thinking, okay, I'm not able to get a job right now because I applied to 54 jobs and none of
Mm-hmm.
them hired me, even with my experience. So
Mm.
I began to really strategically list out what are all the skills that I would bring to a job and how
Mm-hmm.
can I bring these to the market? How can I bring these to other business owners? How can I bring these to my own business? And so going from there, I began to just think of plans. I didn't have a lot of extra money or extra income, but I started to think of ways that I could market myself that wouldn't cost. So I started with LinkedIn, tried that,
Okay.
just tried different things until that stimulus check came and I said, all right, this is my chance to really dive in deep and go after this.
Okay, and so now the stimulus check came. You'd already shifted your mindset. Can you tell us how you spent each dollar? Because what people really want to know is how do you flip $1,200 into 3 million?
Absolutely. So when I got the stimulus check, I used a portion of it to upgrade my phone. So I, went and put a little down payment with T-Mobile. I also used it to purchase a ring light, which is like the one I'm using right now.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a couple of website domains. So I bought ellietalksmoney.com, elliezarabella.com, and a few others, and paid some money to design my website. And then I paid for software with Canva, which is a graphic design software.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I got to work. So what I really want people to understand is the $1,200 really helped me to get the equipment that I needed to start my business, but everything else came from the work. I didn't have money to pay for Facebook ads, so I didn't use them. I
Mm-hmm.
simply sat right here with this ring light and this phone that you're talking to me on, and I started posting content. I went live. I created posts for my Instagram feed, different ways to show my audience. Well, at the time I had 300 followers, but to show an audience that, hey, I can help you with your sales. I can
Mm-hmm.
teach you about business credit. I can help you if you're a new business and you want to figure out how to get up there with your sales and your marketing. Here are the things that I've learned. Here's what you can do. And that is really what made it turn to the 3 million, is providing coaching services and providing courses. My educational courses are definitely where I took my knowledge and packaged it up into a format where people can digest it in their own time. And
Mm-hmm.
once people started to buy those and catch on to, this is good information, well, here we are.
Here we are. And just to let you know, you're getting so much love in the comments.
Oh, please.
Someone said, thank God those jobs denied you. You ended up with way more than you could have, they could have provided you. And I'm sure you feel that way as well, that this probably turned out way better than you even thought. And so, hey, let's talk a little bit more about your courses. Now, you started selling them, and then you actually needed to scale your business, right? So what did you do to begin scaling? Because you found out that, you could only go so far by yourself. And then you started selling courses. But after you started to sell the courses, what more did you do to scale?
Absolutely. So I started to delegate. Listen, I was the one up until 3, 4 a.m. answering customer service emails and wearing all these different hats. And
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking like, okay, this is working, but it's not going to keep working if I don't preserve myself. Because
Mm-hmm.
who's going to make the courses and who's going to make the content if I'm
Right.
up all night trying to handle these customer service, situations and questions and etc. So
Mm-hmm.
my first hire was Gina, my customer service assistant. And that was really where I started to see this as, wow, this could really be a business. And from there, I then hired my executive assistant. Now I have a community manager. So I'm really, shifting to putting people in place to be able to help me grow this so that I
Mm-hmm.
can service clients from all ends. Because one thing I realized is I was making courses for one type of audience, but then I realized there were other business owners who weren't at point A, but really were more at point C and needed to get to point D. And so
Mm-hmm.
think of ways to implement structures and SOPs to where these point A business owners could be serviced, and then other business owners who are at a different level can also be serviced with more direct access to me. So that's
Mm-hmm.
currently where we are, is, in the position of scaling. I'm so grateful because even though I couldn't find a job, I've now created 5 or 6 jobs based on my business. So it
Okay.
comes full circle.
It does. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. And so, folks, it's important to note also that before Ellie was able to scale, you did a lot of work for free first,
Oh, yeah.
just to get your reputation out there, and to develop some consistency in the market, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then with each step, you grew. Your main bread and butter were the courses, but you kind of have tiered pricing, it sounds like, where clients you work closer with, they receive a little bit more one-on-one attention from you. So, okay. And then we're almost wrapping up here. But you say, and many have said, And hey, I actually personally have seen this with a lot of friends and other folks that now is a very easy time to become an entrepreneur, right? So, like, what personal advice do you have for those watching who they want to turn that $1,200 into a $3 million business?
Absolutely. And I love this question because it's so true. I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship and the access we have to entrepreneurship right now because you don't need to have a lot of money to make a lot of money. I would say to everyone who's watching and listening right now, you have skills, knowledge, experience, everything that you can monetize and turn into a service on the marketplace, whether it becomes a service that you provide through coaching or mentoring, or whether you turn it into a digital product that you can provide as education to others, or even a physical product that represents your knowledge and skills. Literally, the world is at your fingertips, and with the power of social media, you're able to connect with people all over the country and the world who, even though you think no one may be interested in your product or service, I can definitely tell you it's not true. There is someone out there who is ready to buy, who needs your experience, who needs your knowledge, and also who needs your perspective. I know I'm not the only business coach or business mentor, but I align with certain people based on my perspective and my story. So bring that confidence, and you can definitely do this too.
Very well said. One person has a question. We kind of answered this, but I want you to give it to this person again because maybe they weren't on the live. What did you do to be able to scale? They said that growing on Instagram and pushing to audiences is hard. So being able to scale and growing your audience, I'm guessing. What did you do
Oh,
for
yeah.
that?
That's a great question. So I mentioned that I started with 300 followers in July of 2021. One of the main things that I did is to post very consistently and give a lot of free value. So I wasn't making money for the first maybe 3 or 4 months being in business because I was giving free coaching calls, free content, free guides. You really want to build the trust and likability with your audience. And the way to do that is to just give value. People want to feel like, wow, every time I come to her page or his page, I learn a lot. This is what's going
Mm-hmm.
to get them to follow you. And now you have an audience that's ripe to start buying from you. And then at that point, you've created these social media champions, people who are going to keep telling other people about you. And that's how you'll really start to see your audience grow. And also use hashtags. Use hashtags. Those are going to help your page grow exponentially. If you can't pay money for ads, use hashtags for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great place to leave it. Ellie Talks Money, Ellie Diop, thank you so much for joining me. I know a lot of people are going to be looking back at this. So if you guys have any questions or if you want to learn more about Ellie, go on and head over to her page, Ellie Talks Money. If you want to learn more about me, I'm at Renita D Young, RENITA D Young. And this has been Your Money Story. I hope you guys continue to have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your year. See you later, Ellie.
Thank you, Renita. Bye, everyone.
Bye.